What's going on, y'all? Brave New Wave back with another one. And today we got a returning guest, ladies and gentlemen, singer, songwriter, New Orleans' very own Logan Justine. Logan, how you doing this evening?
I am doing really good. Thanks for having me again.
It's a pleasure. Man, fun fact, a lot of people don't know actually that you were my very first guest on this podcast back like before I had like anything like really set up. It really had like a like structure to it. You were my very first guest on the Instagram live. And it's funny because like if you go on YouTube and you look at like the way that the episodes are sorted, it starts from episode 2 because I always reserve that episode 1 for you on my Instagram. So yeah, just a little fun fact for the people that didn't know. And you know, I'm very grateful for that. And I mean, as a result, you know, you're always welcome on the show. And today is a very special episode because this is your debut album we're talking about. Time Will Tell. Just dropped this past weekend. I mean, how do you feel about it? Like, what's the reception been like? I listened to it. I had a chance to like really sit with it, but I want to know like what are the streets saying? Like everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the reception?
People really like it. I feel like I grew up, I'm older, like the music is much more mature and relatable. So people really like relating about it. Relating to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can hear the growth in the music compared to your last project. Which we're gonna rewind a little bit. Your very first EP, that was Values.
Yeah.
Dropped in 2017, right? Or 2018?
2017.
Okay. So this album has been like 5 years in the making. I know you dropped different covers and you did different features in the meantime, but it had been like a while since we got like music that's directly from you.
Yeah.
So in those 5 years, what besides, you know, the obvious growth, right? What specifically changed in the music for you between these two projects?
What changed? Like I was able to go through more stuff so that I can write about something. Because for a long time I had like writer's block. Because like it's hard to write if you're not going through something. So you know, it just takes greatness take time. So it really took time.
Yeah, I feel that. Do you feel like, or was there ever a point like in the, you know, in those 5 years that you ever felt like doing something else? Like, did you feel like maybe a career change was in order? Because I know like the last time we talked, I know you said you got involved with different like business ventures. I know you moved from New Orleans to LA to Atlanta, so I know that had to, you know, you had to get acclimated with all of that. But was there ever a point where you just like kind of thought about, even if for a second, just like quitting music and focusing more on the business aspects?
Definitely. I battle with that a lot. Like I have my moments, my days. I'd be like, I just don't want to do music no more. I'm like, nobody care about my stuff. I don't care. Like I don't want to do it. And that's actually what happened like recently, because this album was been supposed to come out. Like I was like, I don't want to put it out anymore. Like I don't. Yeah, like it's been supposed to be out. So even when it was about to come out, I was about to pull it down. Like I'm so insecure about my work sometimes, about my voice. Like I don't know, it's weird, but yeah, I feel like that all the time.
So what was that moment that made you like, it kind of saved you, right? What was that moment that you said, okay, I must stick with the music? Was it a conversation you had with somebody, or like something that happened, or?
My friends, they was like, you are crazy, like put the album out. Because I've always like every time before I put music out, like I let my friends hear it, I get thoughts like, oh, what should go on, what should not. Like, so yeah, my friends talked me into keeping it going.
That, man, shout out to them, because I mean, like the music was so good. I was like, damn, like, and it's crazy to hear that you kind of sat on a project for a little bit, because I mean the music, I mean, it speaks for itself. Like I don't think anybody would have a negative opinion on it from, you know, from the sound of it. Right. Damn, that's crazy. So like how long has it been done specifically? Like have you been sitting on this for like a year, 2 years? Like how long?
Okay, so at first it was supposed to be an EP, like 4 or 5 songs. So that's been done for like years. Like I recorded some of these songs years ago. So I didn't want to put out singles because I feel like it's more attention when you put a project out versus singles. So yeah, the EP been done. But then I just started, I don't know, something in me clicked recently and I just started writing like, and I just was adding more and more songs. And that also is extending like the release date. Like I was in my mood, like I just felt like writing, I was adding songs. I was like, okay, this album it's gonna be an album now because I have a lot of songs, a couple more songs, you know.
How many more songs you got in the tuck? Because
Yeah.
that one was 8 songs long, but it sounds like you got way more.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it too long. I have a couple more. Like I think I want to do like an EP soon. So yeah,
Please
some songs.
feed us more music. Okay, so you're independent, right?
Yeah, I'm independent.
Cool. And there was never any pressure for you to assign to a major label, or has a major label approached you yet?
Not yet. I'm sure it's coming. It's coming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially where you are. I mean, you're literally right in the middle of the hub of just
right.
like up and coming musicians right now,
right.
which is Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
So you made the right move there. Speaking of, how has living in Atlanta for the past, what, you've been there for a year or two?
I've been about almost 3 years.
3 years. Wow. Okay. So how has living in Atlanta for the past 3 years affected the music? Because I know, like I said, you're in the hub of like young musicians that are up and coming. So I'd imagine you had way more resources than you had in New Orleans, a lot more people to reach out to, and a hell of a lot more opportunities to, get your stuff out there. Has that helped any in any way, shape, or form?
Definitely. I feel like Atlanta is the place to be. Like if you're trying to do music, Atlanta, LA. It's a lot of producers out here you can work with. It's just a lot going on. People always invite me to come out and perform. Like it's a lot of opportunity out here for sure.
And was there ever any pressure for you to like, because you're predominantly R&Bs, you're like your sound anyway, right? Yeah. Has there been any pressure for you to kind of cross over to like the hip hop or like the pop lane? Sometimes like I see like, and I'm speaking in regards to like the aesthetics. Like sometimes I kind of see you inch over that way, but then you kind of like draw back into the R&B lane. Like, is that something that you thought about?
I'm not a fan of pop music, but I will say I actually have pop songs. I just never put it out.
Word.
I just feel like, because I feel like my voice is very R&B and it can go pop, so it can go both ways. I know it's good to be versatile. I'll definitely put one out one day, but I want my main focus to be like in the R&B lane.
Yeah, I feel that. But I feel like it's getting tricky now more than ever. And that's what I mean is like, so I was watching, well, not watching, but I was keeping up with the Billboard Awards this past week. And I noticed, I think Summer Walker, she made a post in regards to like her not winning any awards for her last album, which I mean, by all accounts, is an R&B album. And mm-hmm. I think a lot of the criticism for the awards was you had Doja Cat was nominated in I think it was the R&B soul category, and she like, it was like a clean sweep. Like she won all the R&B awards. And if you listen to her album, really any of her projects, I don't think, I wouldn't classify her as like traditional like R&B soul. She's more so pop.
Yeah, to me too.
So like, have you noticed that? Like it's like R&B isn't R&B anymore. It's kind of like it's like it's like they're trying to like mesh pop and R&B together to where like it's this hybrid of a genre. And I think it's really taken away the essence of what rhythm and blues like actually is. Like it's being watered down, and it's just a messy situation. So I mean, what do you feel about that whole situation? Because I know, like you just said, it's kind of, I can see how it could be frustrated for somebody who's like purely making R&B and soul, and you want to break through, right? Yeah. But you might have to compromise the music and the sound a little bit and go a little more pop to reach the success that like you want, or kind of like break through and get the exposure that you want, or that you may need.
Right. I think, I don't know. I just think it's Doja Cat. Sometimes I just wonder like who's behind like voting for that. because I think it has something to do with that too. Like, because I don't think you have
Absolutely.
to really change it up too much. Because like Summer is true R&B, her has true R&B, and her is very R&B, and she has a lot of awards. So I think it's really more. I'm not. I don't want to get that type of issue. I think it's more so who's like holding for it. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, now that you mentioned it, it's like Doja, and I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying like Doja Cat was at the ceremony. I think Summer Walker was like doing some other shit. You see where I'm going with it?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there probably definitely is politics involved, but um, even some of the older R&B acts like Genuine and Tank and them, like they've even talked about how like the R&B guys like and the woman in R&B, it's like it's not it's still not real R&B. Like
Right.
it's more hip hop oriented than it is R&B. It's more pop oriented than it is R&B. Um, but in regards to you and your career, you consider yourself like a true R&B songstress, right?
For sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with that. And so what are some of the influences in the music for you, like both past and present?
You talking about like artists or
Artists or like producers or songwriters? Is anybody?
definitely Jasmine Sullivan. I listen to her all day. Beyonce, she's a really good performer, writer, just all around entertainer. So I really look at those two.
So Jasmine Sullivan and Beyonce for sure, for sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dope. How do you feel about female R&B right now? Do you feel like it's where it needs to be? Because I know like speaking for me, females are like they killing the males in the R&B sector right now. Like I don't know what I don't know what Bryson Tiller and who else? God damn it. What's her boy name? God damn. Not Lucky Day. Lucky Day pretty much the only one doing this thing right now.
Right.
Giveon. Giveon, Bryson Tiller, like all the people that we want to hear from. I mean, Chris Brown's dropping the album soon, so that's cool. But like the R&B, like the real R&B guys, they just nowhere to be found right now. And it's like, the women are just killing it right now. Like, would you agree with that? Or am I just tripping?
No, R&B for girls is in a really great place right now. Like really great. But way better than men. I feel like the guys, I don't know if it's not enough newer artists. I don't know. Something just not there. I don't know. Lucky Day is like the only male that I've been hearing about lately.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like new, new artists for sure. Like it's not that many. Um, I mean, shit. Whereas like, yeah, like whereas women, like y'all, I mean, it coming out the woodworks. I know, like Money Long, for example. Like I know she's been in the game for a
Yeah.
long time, but she was the most recent that I could think of that really broke through with a really, really fucking good R&B song.
Mm-hmm.
Hours and Hours is that's being said to be like another classic. Um, yeah, that's true. Yeah, besides, like, there's not that many males that's doing the R&B thing. But again, I think that goes back to the whole fucking, like hip hop takes precedence over everything type shit. And like I said, it's easy to fall into that whole like hip hop lane because you can still be melodic and still be considered a rapper and make hip hop music, like Future, and Drake and all these other guys that are doing just that. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Um, okay, so this album's dropped now. When are you like, are you currently back in the studio? Like, are you taking some time off? Just kind of letting this sit and like marinate, or are you right back to work?
I'm right back to trying to write some more songs. Like I said, I do want to put an EP out. I'm not gonna say this year because it's gonna be it's tricky. But I'm gonna try to put an EP out before the end of the year or the beginning of next year for sure.
Any focus on visuals for this album? Because you make really good visuals.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm just kind of trying to see what's gonna be the top song first because I don't want to do a video to something that's not the top song. So I'm figuring it out right now.
But what's like number one? Like what's like number one in the race right now?
Tell Me is my top and Jealous.
Tell me, yeah, tell me. Wasn't that the single that you released?
No, I released Down for You.
Yeah, that's what it was. Down for You. Yeah. Yeah, why not a visual for Down for You? Now that I think about it, because I mean, it sounds like a single. You know what I'm saying? So like it naturally, and I think that was like the song that you put out first before the album dropped. So like I think naturally that it will make more sense for that to be, you know, the one that gets a visual first. Oh, and I really do like I Want to Know. That's my favorite song on the album. I'm not saying you need a visual for it, but like damn, I love that song for real. I think you really showed, like if we're talking about like if somebody asks me, okay, show me a song that displays Logan's growth as a vocalist, I would point to that song. Because I think and yeah, that was just an amazing that was an amazing song. That and the very last song on the project I enjoyed.
Used to?
Yes.
That's one of my favorites. It's funny you say I want to know because like like when I said I show my friends before I put the stuff out. They actually said no to that song. That was like the only song on the project. Yeah, that was the only song on the project. They was like, don't you shouldn't put that on there. But deep down I felt like that was a good song. So I'm like, I'm gonna put it on there. Like,
no fucking way. Wow.
That's all. I'm surprised you. And it is, that song is actually like almost pretty much at the top with the other one. So I'm just really surprised about that song. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was gonna be at the very bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. That's like when I go to the album, that's like, you know, I shuffle everything and shit. I mean, I listen to it in order, but like I like to listen to music on shuffle. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am. That's like the first song that I go to. Yeah, so that's crazy. Wow. But I mean, you know, everybody got different tastes. So but okay, so let's get into like your business ventures, right? I know you got the Airbnb thing going in Atlanta. What are some of the other things that, you know, you're active in business wise?
Yeah, I'm getting into buying like more properties, definitely like trying to get into flipping homes, stuff like that. What else do? I sell hair, like I do a lot. I'm a little
you're a woman of many hats. But going back to the Airbnb thing right quick. What was was that your idea?
Yeah, cause like all my brothers do that. Like they do real estate, flip homes. So I wanted to get into it. You know, it's good money.
Yeah, get into it. You did, because that's a fire fucking Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody listening right now, go. I think you can see it on your page. I don't know if you have a page specific to your Airbnb, but damn, it's nice.
Thank you.
And that's right in the heart of Atlanta, or like it's like more on the outskirts?
No, it's actually like 5 minutes from downtown. So it's right by downtown Atlanta, by like the football stadium, all of that good stuff.
By which one? By University of Georgia, or by the
I can't. What is this people?
The Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz.
God damn. Yo, you doing it big over there. Sheesh. But wait, I'd imagine too, like the cost of living there is like probably way better than what it is down here.
Atlanta is getting bad. Like it's getting to where LA was when I was living there. I don't know how much LA is now, but
LA is LA. So like they was gonna be bad regardless, but
Atlanta's going to LA prices. Like Atlanta, I don't know what's happening out here. It's bad.
Man, everybody moving down there. That's what the fuck happened. Everybody flocking down there. Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing everywhere. I think somebody was telling me too, like places like Houston and like Austin, Texas, like places where they were pretty much well known for like the low cost of living. Everything is going up now because everybody's moving there from like all over the country.
Right.
And like you said, Atlanta's like an entertainment hub, especially for Black people right now, and young up and comers. So I mean that's natural, I guess. But speaking of Atlanta, let's stay right there for a second. Because again, it's a lot of people moving out there still to this day. What's some advice that you would give a young actor or actress or young musician who's like looking to move to Atlanta for more opportunities? What advice would you give them? And what What would you like? What are some things you would first of all? What are some things that you would tell them like not to do? Like, don't come out here and do this.
Definitely like research the areas. Like Atlanta have so many parts to it. Like you don't have to stay directly in Atlanta. To personally to me, the areas in Atlanta is not as good. Definitely check out some of the outskirts. I live in Atlanta, like, but also like I say like network before you come here. Like you can hashtag on Instagram, like if you do music, producers Atlanta, like just network, meet people before you get here. So you know you can somebody and like you have stuff lined up when you do get here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good advice because you don't want to, especially if you don't know anybody out there, like family and stuff like that. You just, I feel like I made that mistake before, and I turned out pretty well. You know, I made that mistake moving to New York. I knew like one fucking person out there. That was about it. And I managed, but I mean, I think it would have went way smoother if, like you said, I would have networked beforehand, and I could have really like fucking hit the ground running. But so yeah, network and what was the other piece of advice that you gave?
I was saying research the areas.
Research, yep. So networking and research, yeah, definitely those two, like for sure. But I mean, other than that, it should go pretty smooth for somebody that's coming out there that's really trying to come up, right?
For sure. Make sure you add Atlanta like stuff in your hashtags when you post because people will come to your page like invite you to perform and stuff. Like, yeah.
Plenty of venues to showcase your skill.
Right.
Like clubs and stuff.
The Instagram play a big part in it. So for sure, do hashtags.
Speaking of, how are performances going for you? Especially with this new album that just dropped.
Good. I don't always accept them because it just depends. Like, some places just be like, okay, don't waste my time. Like, but I do accept a few. I don't usually post when I do perform. I just,
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, and I made note of that. I was like, I know she performing live. I mean, she has to be, right? Because I mean, that's just what you do in Atlanta. And like just in general, that's how you get the music out there for people to hear it. But you don't post it much, which I mean, that's I guess that's commendable because you've always been very low key like that.
I am, and honestly, my page is just very structured. So it's like I can post certain things, certain order. So I don't want it messing my page up. So yeah.
That's do you have a PR team?
I work with people, different ones, but I'm not like to a specific team.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So whoever could get the job done, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So performing, got visuals on the way, new project. How are you feeling though? Like how are you feeling about the whole music thing? Like, do you feel like you're in better spirits than you were before? Do you feel like, man, I could like, do you feel like you really have all the intangibles, right? Because I feel like we don't talk about intangibles enough, which I like, in my opinion, you have the intangibles to be a superstar, right? Which is why, like, I love sitting down with you and talking with you, especially in regards to your career, because everything's there. But how do you feel about it?
I definitely feel like that project has so much potential. It's just really all about getting it to the right person to hear, posting it, then something go viral. Like, I just feel like just waiting for that moment. But I've received so much more. I received support the first time, but like it's been like a lot more this time. Like people really like it for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, you was in the Billboard article and everything. So I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, safe to say, yeah, like this I feel like this is the one that's gonna catapult you to like even further than before to where you want to go. Right. All right. So that being said, onward. We talked about everything that like you have in the tuck, but in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself in your career, music wise?
In the next 5 years, I hope to see myself like one of my songs, not one, but most of my songs viral, hopefully signed in the next 5 years.
Any specific label you want to?
No specific.
You want to, you know what I'm saying? Any specific label you kind of want to put that bug in their ear?
It's not a specific label. I'm pretty much open. Like I said before, it just depends on the contract, the money.
Yeah, please read that contract.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's way too many stories till to this day. I can't believe after the fucking TLC story debuted on VH1 and we saw how the shit go, people are still getting fucked by these contracts. I don't understand.
Some people just don't read it. They just
yes. Oh my God, man. Y'all read these contracts, bro. For real, for real. That's in everything, not even just music.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to say that.
Oh, you good.
But go ahead. You getting signed. What else?
But yeah, like I've had people from labels reach out before. And like if I mention like contract, like depends on how the contract is. I feel like that'll kind of stir them away because they know like, oh, it's not good,
But man, I mean that just mean that wasn't the right label for you then. You know what I'm saying? If you spook that I ask questions regarding the contract, then that's a big red flag to me.
Yeah, I just be straight up, like get to the point.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a really good point. You're gonna lose opportunities like that, but again, like if anybody's spooked because you're asking questions about the soundtrack, then you don't need to be doing business with them anyway.
Sure. Yep.
Facts. Okay, I cut you off again. What were you?
Oh no, you did. I don't even know where I
was. Okay, yeah, you said so. Next 5 years, you said being signed. Definitely getting your music more out there. So like safe to say like you are 100% committed to the music thing, and we're not gonna have to wait another 5 years for an album.
As of today. I don't think it'll take that long. Like, okay, it's different now also because I recorded most of those songs. Like I have my own studio. Like I do my own stuff. Back then I didn't do none of it. I didn't know how to record myself. So I have the ability to do more now. So I can definitely get music out there faster than before.
Yeah, lock in. And experiment,
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely experiment. Because it's a lot of again, it's like especially like we talked about a million times, the R&B genre is wide open. Right. So it's plenty of different ways to experiment with different sounds and samples and still keep it in that R&B lane. And I don't know if you noticed too, that's what I wanted to get your opinion on. Like, have you noticed that a lot of the music that we grew up on, like in the early 2000s, these new artists are sampling it and flipping it?
Yeah.
Is that not crazy to you?
I know, but I feel like that's what people like because it's something familiar that they hear, so they're automatically gonna lean towards that song. I just feel like too.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's so weird though, like how things come full circle because I had DJ Legatron Prime on the other day and we was talking about that, like how when we was growing up, artists was sampling music from like the 80s and 90s and 70s, and now like we're full grown adults now, and these new guys are and women are sampling music from the early 2000s, late 90s.
Right.
Like like Mahalia has a new song. I hope I pronounced that right. Mahalia has a new song out In the Club, and the sample's In the Club by 50 Cent, but it's more R&B.
Mm-hmm.
Burna Boy just dropped a song. He sampled Wasn't Man Enough for Me by Tony Braxton, that Dark Child beat. Who else? Rod Wave. He samples a lot of shit from the early 2000s. So I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy how like things come full circle like that. I just had to point that out right quick. Also, I'm waiting on my cover too. That request I put in, I never got it.
I haven't done any covers. I was so busy. I got busy. I decided to actually put my album out. So I was like, okay, I need to do work on this.
Yeah, that's another thing you're really good at. You're really fucking good at covers.
Yeah.
I'm like, you put out a lot of covers, but for you it's fine because I mean you're good at it. Anybody else is like, okay, stop fucking making covers because it's not. It don't sound as good as the original. Like chill, but you're pretty good at that. You put your own spin on it, and I enjoy them. So those come in as well. Well, all right, Logan. That's pretty much everything for today. I really appreciate you stopping by and chopping it up with me. Again, time will tell. The album is out right now. That's on Apple Music, Spotify, pretty much everywhere music is streamed. Go run those numbers up. Support real R&B. support local R&B, even though she's not local anymore, even though like she'll always be New Orleans child. I feel like you're always, you know how New Orleans is. We always gonna claim, like, if you're from here, we always gonna claim you, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Anything else from you before we go?
Go stream that album, get them streams up, and yeah, let's go.
All right, Logan, appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for watching and listening today. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you for the next one. Thank you.